Hello everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Fisher Yu. I'm the co-founder and CTO of the project called Fabulous. Yeah, so just a quick question. Have you heard about Babylon before? Anyone heard about Babylon before? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yes. So, Babylon is about building trustless Bitcoin stuff. Okay. So our most remarkable achievement so far is have a very high VL of our staking protocol. You know the number? How much BTC KVL does Babylon have? $7 billion of Bitcoins. Okay, yeah, because of something called Trustless. Okay, so in this talk, I will present you our latest research development that will catalyze the new era of ETC5. Okay, so in the previous panel, right, the panelists talked about BTC5. What's the future of BTC5? What's the hurdle of BTC5? So to begin with, I would like to address what does BTC5 even mean, okay? BTC5 comes with many names. BTC5, Bitcoin Fi, BTC DeFi, Bitcoin DeFi, many names, okay? But in general, there are two directions of BTC5. One is to bring everything back to the Bitcoin chain so that Bitcoin miners can earn more transaction fee instead of relying on mining. Second, the other direction, which is the opposite, is to bring Bitcoin to other chains so that Bitcoin can have more utilities. So, Bitcoin 5 go to Bitcoin or Bitcoin go up to? Which direction do you prefer? Everything goes to BTC chain? Anyone? No? One? Okay, what about bringing BTC to everywhere? Who support that? Okay. Well, there's the spike. So, okay, I agree with the majority. Okay? So to me, BTC5 means bringing Bitcoin to the DeFi world, to the vast majority of crypto world. Okay? Not start everything back to the Bitcoin chain. That doesn't work. Okay. So that's why the mission of the Problem project is to bring Bitcoin to DeFi worlds. Okay? Then you may ask the question, that is worth it? Is it a meaningful thing to do? Does Bitcoin want to go to DeFi? And does DeFi want to have Bitcoin? So before I introduce our technology, I would like to first address the most important question. Is there a market for BTC? Okay? So, one side of the question, does the DeFi world want BTC? Okay. To answer this question, I use maybe the most classic DeFi as an example. So here, you can see three very familiar names. These are the three biggest DeFi lending products on Ethereum. Then you also see two columns of numbers here. The first column number is the total borrow. The second column is the total amount of asset waiting to be borrowed. Okay? If you see, the second column is much larger than the first column. What does this mean? It means there are much more lenders than borrowers. There are a lot more idle money waiting to be borrowed compared to people who want to borrow money. Okay? So if we bring BTC to the DeFi world, then the Bitcoin holders can collectorize their BTC as borrow, say stablecoin, our asset. So to decrease the number and volume of borrower for DeFi world. So to answer the question, does the DeFi world want BTC? What would be your answer? Yes, the answer is yes. DeFi world will love BTC. But what about BTC? Will get love the DeFi world back? Again, taking lending for example. So I talk to Bitcoin holders when they go lending off chains. The interest rates, the cost is about 7 to 9%. And also, if they need to do KYC, KYB, they also need to surrender the custody of their Bitcoin to the vendor. Okay, so they use their Bitcoin, they pay a very high interest. However, if they are able to borrow stable on-chain, the cost is only about 4 to 5%. And there's no KYC, KYB, nothing. So that's a huge gap in terms of the borrowing cost and also the regulation difference here. So I think the question to does BTC want to enter DeFi, it's also obvious. Okay? Is it a yes or no? Exactly. It's a strong yes. Okay? So in terms of product market fit or the direction of BTC DeFi, it is absolutely no ambiguity. The answer is a strong yes. Both will love each other. Okay? But what's the reality? The reality is there is no happy marriage between the two. Most of the Bitcoin is sitting there idle, doing nothing, and only less than 1% of Bitcoin actually entered the DeFi world, mainly through WBTC, 0.65%, and then Coinbase BTC, about 0.27%. In total, roughly only 1% of BTC entered DeFi. Okay? Why? Why is this the case? They love each other. Why can they work together? Why don't they live together? The answer is that there is missing something very important, which is a trustless way to allow Bitcoin to enter the DeFi world. Okay. For WBTC, you need to trust BitGlobal. For CBBTC, Coinbase BTC, you need to trust Coinbase. For any other Bitcoin features, you need to trust the bridge key because they hold custody of the Bitcoin. Okay? So this is not trustless. So the serious Bitcoin holders, especially the institutional ones, they do not want to DeFi. They just think they cannot enter the DeFi world because there's not a trustless one. Okay? So what we try to do is to solve this problem and allow Bitcoin to enter the DeFi world. We worked on this for very, very long time, since last year, and last month, we finally solved it. We invented something called Trustless Bitcoin Vault, which allow native Bitcoin to participate in any smart contract DeFi or any blockchain. There's no specifics in it. So the basic idea is you as a Bitcoin holder will put Bitcoin into a vault with a few counterparties, and our system allow you to fully program under what key Bitcoin fact and under what case your counterparty can catch the Bitcoin away. A class example or usage of the our trusted Bitcoin vault is lending. So in lending, there are two counterparties. One is the borrower, two is the liquidator. Okay? So our vault allows Bitcoin holders to directly borrow stablecoin from other mobile or existing network protocols with a counterparty of the lending to the post predictor. So that, let's load it to video. If the British borrower can take back the loan, if it get the business effects. If the BTC price falls below a certain threshold, or the borrower cannot retain the loan, then the liquidator will seize a BTC, native BTC. That's it. Nothing fancy, just plug it and work. There's no intermediary, no counterparty, no custody. So if it's really trusted, okay? So native BTC can finally direct borrow money from legacy holders without any disavowal. Yeah, so lending just the most basic use case of our Trustless Bitcoin Vault. It can do very many things. So lately, to start with, and lately Bitcoin-backed stablecoin 7x, similar to how MakerDAO and other stablecoin works. We also help with spot trading and settlement and liquidity provision of latest Bitcoin, perplex, option market, and lately DeFi protocols that you can make if you name it. Because for any DeFi application, at its very core, it's about money change cake, or in our case, Bitcoin change cake. And we allow the event of Bitcoin change cake to be fully programmable. So this primitive, this atomic primitive, can be applied to any DeFi. Yeah. So with the Trustless Bitcoin Vault, we are very confident that you will encourage a lot more BTC to deactivate it, move out from the cold storage and participate in DeFi, not just what they say. Okay? An extra bonus of our innovation is that it will make the Bitcoin the best treasury asset. Okay. With our current Bitcoin staking protocol, Bitcoin can work as cash to earn passive yields. Okay. With our Trustless Vault protocol, Bitcoin act as non-cash treasury asset like land and real estate to borrow value. But also because of our Trustless Vault, Bitcoin can be used at both other cryptos to do any DeFi. Okay, so Bitcoin can do everything that the normal treasury asset can do. All of them, not one of them. So Bitcoin become the fast treasury asset in the world. Now everyone buy Bitcoin. The next wave has to be making Bitcoin productive through bubble protocol. Yeah. So about 2 years ago, we invented a Trustless Bitcoin staking. Okay. So our protocols as so far has activated over $8 billion of Bitcoin because it is trustless. Current JBL is about 6.5 to 7%, 7 billion, but in total, we activated more like $8 billion of Bitcoin that used to be still sitting there doing nothing. Okay? Our Trustless Bitcoin bot will allow Bitcoin coders to participate in any DeFi in a more active way. So we strongly believe that with our new innovation, we can activate even more, way more Bitcoin than Bitcoin station. So we hope within 2 years, we can activate at least 100 billion of Bitcoin to participate on the bus. And that, as always, the Bombnet project as the seeding project of ETH5, we will focus on building the pool to be enabled with this fund. We will invite ecosystem projects to build products on top of it, create and capture value. Yeah. Thank you very much. It's all.